What if I told you that sharing less could actually make you stronger, wiser, and more respected? In a world that constantly urges us to reveal every detail of our lives, Stoic philosophy reminds us that some things are best kept silent, not out of fear, but out of strength. Today, we're diving into 8 things you should never share with anyone if you want to protect your inner peace, your dignity, and your quiet confidence. This isn't about hiding who you are. It's about guarding your power and living life on your own terms. If you value your peace of mind and want to navigate life with true Stoic calm, make sure you watch until the end. And if you find this wisdom helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a lesson in living stronger and wiser every day.
Number 1.
Age. Age is one of those external facts that society fixates on, yet it holds no real power over your true self. The Stoics taught us that what truly matters is our internal virtue and wisdom, not the external markers that others obsess over. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, reminded us repeatedly to focus on what is within our control and to accept what is not. Your chronological age is outside your control. It is simply the number of years you have lived, a measurement of time passing. But how you respond to that passage of time, how you embody wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice, that is within your power. For many between 50 and 75, openly sharing your age often invites the weight of cultural biases and prejudices. Ageism is real, and it often creeps in unconsciously. People may treat you differently, lowering their expectations or overlooking your potential because they see you as too old or past your prime. Yet this is a form of injustice rooted in ignorance, not truth. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When others make assumptions about your abilities based on age, you have the power to remain indifferent to their errors in judgment. Keeping your age private is an exercise in what the Stoics call prudence, the ability to judge what is truly beneficial for your life and peace of mind. When you share your age, you allow others to frame your identity within narrow boundaries defined by society. When you withhold it, you deny them the opportunity to impose those limits. Instead, you ask them to engage with you based on your character, your wisdom, your words and actions, the very things Stoicism teaches us to value above all. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about the folly of worrying about things beyond our control and the importance of living fully in the present. Age is a fact, but it need not define your experience or self-worth. The real question is, how do you live your days? Do you waste them weighed down by the fear of aging, or do you embrace each moment with the dignity and purpose that only a cultivated mind can offer? Furthermore, the Stoics taught the importance of cultivating a strong inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. By choosing silence around your age, you build that fortress stronger. You protect yourself from the unsolicited judgments, the whispered assumptions, and the subtle biases that come with revealing your number. This is not about hiding or shame. It is about exercising sovereignty over your identity and preserving your tranquility. In the end, true respect and power come not from revealing your years, but from showing your virtues. Wisdom, courage, patience, and integrity are ageless. Your age is irrelevant to the quality of your life or the strength of your spirit. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Let your actions and your character speak louder than any number ever could. So if you want to live with quiet confidence and unshakable peace, hold your age close to your chest. Share it not with the world, but with yourself as a reminder of the time you have to grow wiser, better, and more virtuous every day. This is the Stoic way.
Number 2.
Financial matters. Money is one of the most sensitive and misunderstood subjects in human relationships. The Stoics teach us that external goods, including wealth, are indifferents, things that do not determine our true happiness or virtue. Seneca reminds us that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Yet despite this wisdom, the reality is that sharing financial details, whether abundance or scarcity, can drastically change how others perceive and treat us, often in ways that undermine our dignity and autonomy. For those aged 50 to 75, financial privacy is not merely about secrecy, but about preserving your sovereignty over your life and relationships. Disclosing your financial status opens the door to judgment, envy, pity, or unwanted advice, all of which disturb the Stoics' prized inner tranquility. Epictetus teaches that it is not the things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Revealing your financial situation invites others to form opinions and judgments that can lead to conflict, manipulation, or loss of respect. Moreover, money is a powerful social signal. When others know what you have or lack, they may unconsciously shift their behavior. Some might seek to exploit generosity, others may withdraw respect or regard, and still others may treat you differently out of envy or resentment. As a Stoic, you understand that your worth is not tied to possessions or wealth, but to the virtue you cultivate within. To preserve your equanimity and independence, it is wise to maintain discretion about your finances. The Stoic ideal is to embrace self-sufficiency, autarkia, the ability to be content and resilient regardless of external circumstances. Sharing financial details undermines this ideal by entangling your peace of mind with others' perceptions and reactions. When you guard your financial affairs, you protect yourself from becoming a target of manipulation or gossip and maintain control over your own narrative. Marcus Aurelius advises, receive without pride, let go without attachment. Motto, whether you have abundance or face hardship, reveal neither excess nor scarcity. By doing so, you avoid the traps of pride and shame alike, standing firm in your virtue rather than fluctuating with your bank account. Keeping financial matters private is a powerful way to cultivate humility and preserve dignity. In a world that increasingly equates worth with wealth, the Stoic path calls you to resist this false measure and to find true wealth within. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Your financial status is fleeting, but your character endures. Protect your peace by not sharing what can divide, complicate, or diminish you. Remember, true freedom is the freedom to live on your own terms, without the burden of others' judgments or expectations tied to money. Your financial affairs are a matter between you and the universe, not for public scrutiny or debate. By keeping them private, you live not in fear or pride, but in serene mastery of yourself.
Number 3.
Family secrets. Family is often the closest and most significant relationship in our lives, but it is also where the most delicate, painful, and complex challenges reside. The Stoics teach us that tranquility, the highest good, is achieved through wisdom, self-mastery, and prudent judgment about what we reveal and what we keep private. Sharing family secrets or internal conflicts publicly can shatter this peace, opening the door to judgment, gossip, and misunderstandings that may fracture relationships and disturb your inner calm. Epictetus urged us to constantly ask, is this within my control or not? Family dynamics and their deeply personal matters usually lie beyond our direct control. When you expose intimate family issues to outsiders, you surrender your authority over those matters and risk losing the trust of those involved. Others, unaware of the full context or lacking your loyalty, may misinterpret, misuse, or share your confidences further, creating rifts that extend far beyond the original problem. The Stoic concept of oikeiosis speaks to our natural affinity and duty to care for family. Yet true care does not demand revealing every painful or complicated detail. Sometimes, protecting family secrets is the highest form of virtue you can offer, maintaining the dignity and sanctity of your household and shielding vulnerable members from harm or shame. This restraint is not weakness or avoidance. It is a deliberate choice to preserve harmony and respect. Additionally, airing family grievances or secrets outside the family often invites unsolicited opinions, judgment, and interference from those who lack the emotional intelligence or commitment to handle such matters delicately. This can escalate conflicts and deepen emotional wounds rather than promote healing. Marcus Aurelius counseled, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Sometimes the right and true action is silence. A silence that protects rather than divides. Choosing to keep family matters private also preserves your own mental and emotional well-being. The Stoics understood that suffering often arises not from external events, but from how we judge and react to them. By exercising discretion, you maintain control over your narrative and protect yourself from becoming entangled in public drama or gossip that only disturbs your peace. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own virtue and responses, and to accept with equanimity what lies beyond it. Family issues are often complex and ongoing, but by keeping them confidential, you maintain a calm and rational mind, free from the chaos of external opinions. Ultimately, your role is not to broadcast every hardship, but to foster resilience, understanding, and compassion within your family and yourself. Protecting family secrets is a profound act of strength and loyalty. It is a way to uphold dignity, honor relationships, and preserve peace, the very essence of living according to Stoic wisdom.
Number 4.
Medications and health details. Health is undeniably precious, yet the Stoics remind us that our true well-being depends not on the state of the body, but on the condition of the soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." While illness and health challenges are part of life's external circumstances, beyond our ultimate control, how we respond to them shapes our inner freedom and peace. Sharing detailed information about medications or health issues often invites unsolicited advice, pity, or even fear, which can diminish your autonomy and disturb your tranquility. By oversharing, you risk allowing your identity to become entangled with your ailments, as if your value were reduced to your diagnosis or treatment plan. This can erode your sense of self and grant others a degree of control over your narrative that Stoicism warns against. Epictetus taught that suffering comes not from the thing itself, but from our judgment about it. Health challenges should be met with acceptance and resilience, not with shame or self-pity broadcast to others. Keeping your health details private is an exercise in maintaining mastery over your own story. It allows you to frame your experience on your own terms, rather than letting external voices define you by your vulnerabilities. Moreover, publicizing intimate health information often attracts opinions and helpful advice from well-meaning but uninformed sources. This can be overwhelming and counterproductive, pulling your focus away from healing and peace toward frustration and distraction. The Stoic ideal is to guard your mind as a fortress, allowing only what serves your virtue and peace to enter. The privacy of health matters also preserves your dignity. Seneca reminds us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Do not waste your precious time and energy negotiating your worth based on the state of your body or the judgments of others. Instead, focus on cultivating inner virtues that no illness can diminish: courage in adversity, patience in discomfort, and wisdom in accepting what you cannot change. Furthermore, the Stoics viewed the body as a temporary vessel for the soul, something to be cared for but not idolized. By maintaining discretion about your medical details, you demonstrate a profound understanding of this principle. You show that your identity and peace rest not on physical health alone, but on the steady cultivation of your character. In the end, health challenges are private battles that need neither public validation nor exposure. Protecting this privacy is a powerful act of self-respect, resilience, and Stoic discipline. It is a reminder that your greatest strength lies within, unshaken by the fluctuations of the body.
Number 5.
Intimate life and sexuality. Intimacy and sexuality are among the most personal and sacred aspects of human life. The Stoics teach us to govern our desires and maintain self-control. recognizing that true freedom and tranquility come from mastery over passions, not their uncontrolled expression. Marcus Aurelius cautioned, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. In this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Intimate life shared indiscriminately invites external disturbance and misjudgment, which can fracture the serenity we seek. Sharing details about your intimate relationships or sexuality risks distorting the natural privacy that fosters trust, respect, and emotional safety. The Stoics value prohairesis, our ability to choose how we respond and what we disclose. Intimacy demands that we exercise this choice carefully, safeguarding the bond between partners by keeping its most vulnerable parts confidential. When this trust is breached, relationships become vulnerable to misinterpretation, gossip, or exploitation, undermining the very connection that nourishes our soul. Epictetus emphasizes the importance of self-discipline, teaching that no man is free who is not master of himself. Guarding your intimate life from public discussion is an expression of this mastery. It allows you to maintain dignity, honor your partner, and prevent your private life from becoming a spectacle subject to others' opinions or judgments. Furthermore, the Stoic ideal is to embrace natural desires without allowing them to control us. Publicly airing intimate details risks turning sacred moments into sources of shame or pride, both of which are obstacles to inner peace. True Stoic virtue lies in experiencing love and sexuality with balance, celebrating connection while maintaining inner equanimity and discretion. Keeping intimacy private also preserves your autonomy against societal pressures and stereotypes. In a culture that often commodifies or sensationalizes sexuality, the Stoic stance is to protect this personal domain from intrusion. This privacy empowers you to define your relationships on your own terms, free from external noise or validation. In essence, the sanctity of your intimate life is a fortress of trust and respect, a place where your virtue and love flourish away from the public gaze. By choosing silence over disclosure, you embody the Stoic ideal of strength through self-control and preserve the quiet confidence that comes from living authentically and honorably. Number 6, charitable acts, suasurn. True generosity is among the highest virtues honored by Stoicism, yet it is a deeply personal and humble act that demands no public recognition or applause. Seneca wisely observed, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Genuine charity arises from a soul that is rich in virtue, one that gives freely and selflessly, independent of external validation. When acts of kindness are shared openly or broadcast, they risk transforming a noble gesture into mere performance, an act tainted by the desire for praise, status, or approval. This undermines the very virtue that charity represents. The Stoics consistently teach that virtue is its own reward, that the wise person acts rightly because it is right, not for any social recognition. Marcus Aurelius counseled, "Do what is right, not what is easy or popular." Keeping your charitable acts private aligns perfectly with this teaching. By giving quietly, you ensure your motivation remains pure and your generosity untarnished by ego or ambition. This practice strengthens your character by cultivating humility, a key Stoic quality. Publicizing your charity also shifts the focus away from those in need, the true recipients of generosity, and places it instead on the giver's image. Such attention can unintentionally diminish the dignity of those you seek to help, reducing their experience to a public spectacle or charity case. The Stoics valued respect for the autonomy and humanity of others. They would advise that true kindness respects others enough to serve them discreetly, without making them feel diminished or indebted. Epictetus teaches us to differentiate between what lies within our control and what does not. While you control your intent to give, the judgments and opinions of others remain outside your power. By withholding publicity, you exercise control over your virtue and avoid the emotional disturbances caused by external approval or criticism, a practice of apatheia or freedom from such disturbances, which is essential to Stoic tranquility. Furthermore, quiet charity nurtures profound inner peace. When generosity is free from the craving for acknowledgement, it transforms from a transactional act into a source of authentic joy and fulfillment. The Stoic sage delights in virtuous actions themselves, understanding that the true value lies not in applause, but in the positive impact of the deed. This detachment from reward or recognition brings a calm satisfaction that is steady and enduring. By choosing discretion in your charitable acts, you embody Stoic humility and wisdom, living in harmony with nature and reason. You give because it is good, not because it boosts your reputation. This silent generosity deepens your virtue, protects your peace, and strengthens your inner resilience against the vicissitudes of public opinion. Number 7. Honor and achievements. Ones. In a society often obsessed with status and external validation, it can be tempting to constantly speak of our accomplishments and seek recognition. However, Stoicism teaches that true honor does not come from the applause of others, but from the integrity and virtue with which we live. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, don't hanker after what you don't have. Instead, fix your attentions on the finest and best that you have, and imagine how much you would long for these if they weren't in your possession. Achievements, when pursued or displayed with humility, are valuable, but when boasted about or endlessly recounted, they can breed resentment, envy, and distraction from the deeper good. The Stoic ideal of virtus, virtue as the highest good, places character above accomplishments. Your worth is determined not by what you have done in the eyes of the world, but by the consistent practice of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. To loudly proclaim your successes invites the judgments and opinions of others, which are outside your control and often misguided. Epictetus counsels, don't seek to have events happen as you want, but instead want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well. Similarly, do not seek external praise, but cultivate a character so strong it needs no validation. Constantly highlighting your achievements risks tethering your self-worth to fluctuating external factors. This external dependence can create anxiety, frustration, or even bitterness when recognition does not come or when others outshine you. The Stoics encourage autarkia, self-sufficiency, meaning your sense of value and peace should be independent of what others think or say. Your achievements are important only insofar as they reflect and stem from your virtue, not as trophies to flaunt. Furthermore, when you repeatedly broadcast your successes, it can alienate others, generating envy or undermining relationships. The Stoic path is one of quiet dignity, letting your actions speak louder than your words. As Seneca put it, it is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. The journey itself and the character forged along the way are more important than public acclaim. By choosing silence and discretion about your honor and achievements, you protect your inner peace and maintain the respect of others. You demonstrate confidence that does not rely on external applause, but on the steady knowledge of your own worth. This quiet strength is far more compelling and enduring than any boast. In sum, the greatest honor lies in living virtuously and humbly, allowing your deeds to shine quietly rather than shouting them from the rooftops. This embodies the Stoic ideal of strength through self-control and wisdom, preserving peace and dignity throughout life's changing circumstances. Number 8. Past insults. One of the greatest obstacles to inner peace is the tendency to hold on to past insults and grievances. The Stoics were keenly aware of how such mental attachments can imprison the mind in suffering. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The sting of an insult arises not inherently from the words or actions of others, but from the judgments and meanings we assign them. When we cling to offense, we surrender our power and allow external forces, often beyond our control, to dictate our emotional state and sense of self. Marcus Aurelius advises with profound compassion, if someone does wrong, it is because they are mistaken about what is good and bad. Sorry, this understanding invites us to replace anger and resentment with empathy, recognizing that those who insult us are themselves acting out of ignorance or pain. In this, there is a path to apatheia, freedom from destructive emotions, where forgiveness becomes a tool not for excusing wrongdoing, but for preserving our own tranquility. The Stoic emphasis on controlling what is within our power is critical here. We cannot govern the words or deeds of others, but we can govern our own responses. By refusing to ruminate or rehearse past insults, we reclaim sovereignty over our minds. Seneca wisely said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." When we repeatedly replay insults in our minds, we magnify their harm beyond what is warranted, deepening wounds and fostering a victim mentality instead of resilient strength. Beyond emotional harm, holding grudges can cloud judgment and impede personal growth. It distracts us from focusing on virtue, the true good, and keeps our attention locked on perceived wrongs that are ultimately outside our control. Such fixation diminishes our capacity for wisdom, patience, and equanimity, all of which are essential to living a flourishing life. Speaking about past insults publicly or to others risks feeding cycles of gossip, escalation, and social division. The Stoic sage chooses silence and discretion, understanding that airing grievances prolongs their power and invites further conflict. Protecting your dignity through measured silence prevents unnecessary suffering and preserves the calm dignity that comes from self-mastery. Ultimately, letting go of past insults is an act of courage and wisdom. It does not mean denying your feelings or condoning bad behavior, but choosing to prioritize your own peace and virtue above retribution or resentment. By releasing the grip of old wounds, you reclaim your freedom, strengthen your character, and cultivate the quiet confidence and resilience that are hallmarks of the Stoic life. In a world that constantly urges us to share every detail, revealing our inner lives can sometimes do more harm than good. As we've explored, the Stoic path teaches us that true strength and peace come from within, from knowing when to speak, and more importantly, when to remain silent. By guarding these 8 deeply personal aspects of your life, you protect your dignity, preserve your autonomy, and cultivate a quiet confidence that no external circumstance can shake. Remember, silence is not weakness. It is the fortress of your inner virtue, the shield that guards your tranquility against the chaos of the outside world. Practice this discipline daily, and you will find that what you choose to keep private becomes the foundation of your greatest power. If you found these insights valuable, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more timeless wisdom grounded in Stoic philosophy. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which of these 8 things resonated most with you? How do you practice discretion in your own life? Let's grow together in wisdom and strength. Until next time, live with virtue, speak with purpose, and protect your peace.